Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TVC News at 4. I am Precious Amayu. Let's begin at the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives has adjourned plenary till next week over unpaid local contractors' fees. This follows a Reps executive session to address a fallout of the unsuccessful bid of a motion seeking to probe alleged sale of the land on which the Lagos International Trade Fair stands. The motion, sponsored by Lagos member Ademorin Kuye, failed to fly as lawmakers were divided on the relevant committees to execute the mandate. While the mover of the motion insists the Committee on Public Assets to carry out the probe, the Committee on Commerce told the House it is already investigating the alleged sale of the land. When the motion was put to vote, the majority voted against it. Attempts to continue the day's legislative business was rebuffed by aggrieved members, leading to a rowdy session.
Of the motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of the stand, say aye.
Point of order. Order, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of the second leg of the motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The floor.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Immigration Service has denied the allegation of the senator representing Kogi. Immigration officers clarified that officers were only performing their statutory duties. He noted that the Kogi senator made her video during the routine process, but did not post an update after being cleared to fly. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan had earlier in a Facebook Live video claimed that she was briefly stopped from traveling abroad after immigration officials seized her passport at the Nnamdi Kanu International Airport in Abuja. The lawmaker was seen confronting immigration personnel over the action, which she described as an unlawful restriction of her movement and a violation of her fundamental rights. She later confirmed that immigration officers eventually returned her passport, allowing her to continue her journey. And now to judicial matters, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has given the Biafra Nation agitator Nnamdi Kanu till November the 5th to defend the terrorism charges against him or waive his rights to do so. Justice James Omotosho pleaded with him to consult with legal practitioners conversant with the criminal laws to aid his defense or opt for a lawyer to handle his case for him. The decision of the judge followed the persistent refusal of Mr. Kanu to put in his defense to the terrorism charges on the ground that there was no valid charge against him. At the day's proceedings, Mr. Kanu, who announced appearance for himself, told the court he would not go back to the detention unless the charges against him are clearly shown to him. He maintained that his detention at the facility of the Department of the State Services was illegal and unlawful because there was no known law he had breached. He accused the court of violating the Supreme Court judgment that condemned his extraordinary rendition from Kenya and demanded that the judge must unfailingly and immediately discharge him. When reminded that Supreme Court remitted the case to fresh trial, he went back to his insistence that the terrorism charges against him was incompetent, invalid, and illegal. After much persuasion and his insistence not to defend the charge, Justice Omotosho, in a brief remark, shifted further hearing till tomorrow, the 5th of November. And now to other stories. Prison inmates at the Owerri Correctional Center have received a lifeline in the form of free medical care from the senator representing Imo West, Osita Izunaso. The initiative is part of the senator's wider efforts to provide healthcare access to vulnerable groups across Imo State. A day earlier, the lawmaker empowered thousands of people with disability with various items and tools aimed at improving their livelihood.
They're taking their blood samples, they're analyzing everything. The people for the eye are here, for the dentist, doctors are here, everybody's here. So anything that is their problem, they will take care of it to the extent that they'll be able to do. This is part of extending our reach to vulnerable persons. So when I was speaking to those that I released, I charged them to be of good conduct when they come out of this place.
You know, the general problem is some skin problem, eye problem, and also some infection. Very few cases has a severe problem. We write the report for the management, and they need to go to the hospital maybe for the treatment.
As Nigeria seeks to position itself as a competitive player in the regional and global economy, local traders and market leaders are calling for targeted policy reforms and infrastructural upgrades to safeguard and boost economic growth. Alaba international market traders who made the appeal underscored the critical importance of fair trade policies and strategic investments in infrastructure to unlock the market's full potential. In a recent celebration marking the 3rd anniversary of Camillus Amajoyi's leadership, stakeholders emphasized that improving access, roads, security, and reliable power supply are urgent priorities.
Don't make things to be difficult for the mine traders. Most of them doesn't even trade. Most of them don't have shop. Most of them don't do buying and selling.
It's unfortunate about the state of the road. It is very deplorable. It has affected so many things. There is no 1 week about 3 or 4, 5 containers doesn't fall on this road. So based on that, we have relayed to the state governor, and he's making efforts to make sure that something is done about this road. We have made a concerted effort to speak with the governor, and we are still making more efforts to talk with the governor of Lagos State to make sure that this road is done.
This market is so important to a lot of us. And if you enter the market, you notice there are people from other regions. Like the Felodo, you have predominantly Yoruba people. You go to Alaba, you have Hausas. And these are the people that made up Alaba international market. So a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are benefiting from this particular vision. So the government should do well to pay attention and show their presence here adequately.
In other news, the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, has been listed among leading continental experts invited to address the 6th ordinary session of the Pan-African Parliament in November 2025. The invitation extended to Mr. Komolafe in his capacity as both the NUPRC chief executive and interim president of the African Forum for Petroleum Regulators and Frameworks marks a rare recognition of Nigeria's leadership in upstream oil and gas reforms under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The invitation noted that insights from Nigeria's recent petroleum reforms would help PAP develop model laws across member states to improve transparency, environmental standards, and revenue fairness in the extractive sector. The Governor of Jigawa State, Nnamdi, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to grassroots empowerment and sustaining programs that directly improve the lives of citizens. Governor Nnamdi gave the assurance in Dutse when he received the national coordinator of the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program, NG Cares, Dr. Abdul Karim Obaje, and his team, who were in the state for a monitoring visit and documentary production. Dr. Obaje commended Jigawa State for being among the top performing states in the implementation of NG Cares since its launch in 2021. He explained that the program, initiated in response to the economic impact of COVID-19, was designed to support states in reviving local economies and improving livelihoods across Nigeria.
NG Cares is one single program that has touched the life of the people at the grassroots. And if you can recall, I was only one governor, I can boast of that took the campaign of continuation of NG Cares, not only at the Governors Forum, but at the World Bank level.
And that's TVC News this hour. Thanks for watching. Coming up next is Sport Desk.